Title: The Whispering Woods. Andy the Lost Colors. Hello, little explorers. Andy, welcome to our story corner. Are you ready for a magical adventure? Great! Let's journey together to a land far, far away. Once upon a time, nestled between sparkling rivers and the sleepy mountains, there was a place called the Whispering Woods. It wasn't just any forest. It was a forest that shimmered with every color you can imagine. The leaves weren't just green. They were emerald, lime, and the mint. The flowers weren't just red, they were scarlet, ruby, and the crimson. The sky above peeked through the branches in shades of sapphire, azure, and the turquoise. And living in this wonderful, colorful world were three best friends: Leo the lion, Squeaky the squirrel, and the Hoot the owl. Leo was brave and strong, with a magnificent mane the color of a golden sunset. Squeaky was quick and clever, his fur a warm, cozy shade of cinnamon brown. And the Hoot, oh, Hoot was the wisest of them all, with feathers as soft and gray as a morning mist. They loved their vibrant home, and spent their days playing hide and seek among the rainbow-colored trees. One morning, something was very wrong. Leo woke up and yawned a big lion yawn. But when he looked at his reflection in the morning dew, his golden mane was a dull, pale yellow. He rushed to find Squeaky, who was frantically looking at his tail. Leo, my tail, it's not cinnamon anymore. It's just blend brown, he chattered nervously. Just then, Hoot flew down from his branch, his usually misty gray feathers looking like a sad, faded smudge. Friends, Hoot hooted softly, look around. The colors, they're disappearing. It was true. The Whispering Woods was losing its magic. The emerald leaves were turning a boring green, the ruby flowers were a simple red, and the sapphire sky was just plain blue. The world was becoming ordinary, and a quiet sadness began to fall over the woods. The friends knew they had to do something. We must find the lost colors, declared Leo, puffing out his chest. But where do we even begin to look? Worried Squeaky, twitching his nose. Hoot, being the wisest, recalled an ancient story his grandfather had told him. The legend says that the colors of the woods are born from the heart of the forest, a magical crystal hidden deep within. If the crystal loses its light, the world loses its color. The story also speaks of a grumpy gnome named Griselda who guards the path to it. She loves riddles and only lets those with kind hearts and clever minds pass. The three friends looked at each other. A grumpy gnome and riddles sounded a bit scary, but the thought of their world without its beautiful colors was even scarier. Then that's where we'll go, Leo said bravely. Together, added Squeaky. For our home, finished Hoot. And so, their great quest began. They packed a small bag with nuts, handy berries, and set off towards the deepest, most mysterious part of the Whispering Woods. The path grew darker as they went, the trees thicker. The colors here were almost completely gone. Soon, they came to a mossy stone wall with a tiny wooden door. Sitting on a toadstool in front of it was a tiny gnome with a long, white beard and a very grumpy face. It had to be Griselda. Halt! Who goes, sir? She grumbled, her voice like stones rolling downhill. We are Leo, Squeaky, and Hoot. Hoot sighed politely. We've come to find the heart of the forest and bring the colors back. Griselda squinted. No more one passes without answering my riddles. 3. File, and you turn back. Answer correctly, and the path is yours. Here is the first. You have cities, but no more houses. You have mountains, but no more trees. You have water, but no more fish. What me? The three friends huddled together. Cities without houses, mountains without trees. Squeaky's clever mind started worrying. Wait, on a treasure map, he whispered. Yes, Hoot hooted. Leo stood tall and answered, you are a map. Griselda's grumpy face softened just a tiny bit. Correct. One down. Now, for the second. What has an eye, but cannot see? An eye that cannot see? Leo thought about his own eyes, which saw everything. Squeaky thought about all the little bugs he'd seen. Hoot, the wise owl, thought about the tools his father used to fix their nest. He remembered his mother sewing with a needle. A needle, Hoot exclaimed. A needle has an eye, but it cannot see. Griselda nodded. Haimpe, clever, very well. The final riddle. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What me? This one was tricky. How could you leave more behind by taking more? Leo paced by and forth, his paws making little prints on the ground. He looked at his tracks. Footprints. He roared with excitement. The more steps you take, the more footprints you leave behind. Griselda's grumpy face finally broke into a small smile. You have a brave heart, a clever mind, and a wise soul, she sighed. You have passed The heart of the forest is just beyond this door. But they warned, its light has faded because the forest has forgotten to share. The friends pushed open the tiny door and they entered a cave. In the center floated a large crystal, glowing with a faint, weak light. All around it were baskets, each meant for a different color, and they were all empty. The gnome said the forest forgot to share. Hoot mused. What does that mean? Squeaky suddenly had an idea. He scampered over to their bag of snacks. Maybe it means we need to give something to the crystal. He took a bright red berry and he placed it in the basket labeled red. Instantly, a brilliant red light shot out from the crystal and a few flowers outside the cave glowed ruby once more. They understood now. Leo found a yellow dandelion he had saved and he placed it in the yellow basket. A golden light burst forth, and he could feel his mane warming up. Hood found a smooth, gray river stone and he put it in the gray basket. A soft, misty light emerged. They realized that the magic wasn't just in the forest. It came from appreciating and sharing the beauty all around them. They rushed outside and gathered fallen leaves of every shade, petals from every flower, and even a scoop of rich, brown earth. With each gift they placed in the baskets, the heart of the forest glowed brighter and brighter, until the cave was filled with a dazzling rainbow of light. The magic exploded outwards, washing over the whispering woods in a wave of spectacular color. The leaves shimmered with emerald and lime, the flowers blushed scarlet and crimson, and the sky sparkled with sapphire and azure. Leo's mane was a brilliant gold, Squeaky's fur was a rich cinnamon, and Hood's feathers were a lovely misty gray. The Whispering Woods was more beautiful than ever before. From that day on, the animals of the forest made it a tradition to bring small, colorful gifts to the heart of the forest. They learned that the true magic of their home wasn't just having the colors, but in the act of sharing, appreciating, and taking care of the beauty around them. Leo, Squeaky, and Hood were celebrated as heroes, but they knew the real hero was the spirit of friendship and sharing they had rediscovered. And so, our story comes to an end. Remember, little explorers, that the world is full of color and wonder. The best way to keep it magical is to share its beauty with others and to always appreciate the little things. Thank you for joining our adventure today. If you loved our story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more magical tales. See you next time.